No doubt about it. Cities near our southern border are being blitzed in a way they didn't think was possible. I actually did. 10,000 plus migrants illegally crossing a day, all-time records. But New York is also being overrun, and the city claims it's flat out full. I could second that. But let's not forget how much their tune has now changed.
Many families that want to stay here, we're going to ensure that they can get the proper shelter. A country that has always been open to those who were fleeing persecution and other intolerable conditions. We've always welcomed that, but we are going to set the right message, the right tone of being here for these families.
Really, man. Now they're handing out these flyers at the border with shelters with this mess and shelters with this message. You're better off somewhere else, warning that the city's resources have been exhausted. There's no work to be had, and it's one of the most expensive cities in the world. Don't come. What happened? Don't we have the Statue of Liberty or what? Tonight's panel wants to take a look at this and so much more. Joining me now is my only real friends in the building, Fox & Friends Weekend co-host Pete Hegseth, dressed like Jimmy Fallon, and Outkick host Tommy Lahren, who prefer her husband text rather than call you.
100%.
I thought that was
the
so
new
interesting.
rule of thumb.
I had no idea. I thought that was so funny. All right, from another show on Friday. All right, so let's start, if we can, right here with New York City. Tommy, can I start with you? This must stagger you from a woman from the Midwest who moved out to the West Coast. Now it's not come one, come all.
Right, but I'll also say this as someone from the Midwest. The population of South Dakota, where I'm from, less than 1 million. Let's think how many illegal immigrants have come across our border. That's like at least 5+ South Dakotas that have come in since Joe Biden took office. You're seeing it in the streets of New York City. I've been to the border several times. Those cities and those border states have been feeling this for so long. It's about time New York got a sense of it, just a little glimpse of it. And listen, I see that the residents here are outraged. They should be. But will they still vote Democrat? I tend to believe they will. So you kind of get what you vote for. Sorry, New York.
Good point, Tommy. But, Pete, you know, I've a little bit of hope when Governor Abbott came here this week into the eye of the storm. He's only given 15,000. They act like it's 115,000. But it's Joe Biden that's landing him at Westchester Airport and dropping him in without telling us.
The vast majority do not come on a bus from Texas.
Yes.
It's the middle of the night. It's the Biden administration, yet they'll only lay the blame on Texas. So here's the thing. You get to declare yourself a sanctuary city. There's a right to housing in New York City.
Right to shelter.
Right to shelter. You can declare all of those things until reality mugs you, and then you just turn into Martha's Vineyard. And you say, you know what? Not here. Not our tidy little place. And you start handing out flyers. There's no reason to come to New York anyway. Yes, they're admitting what we all know. It's dirty, it's expensive, and there's no room.
Right. Okay. That's from a guy that left.
Yes.
That's
exactly.
What I'm
Please don't come to Nashville, where Pete and I live.
I know. Okay. I wasn't going to say that, but that's okay.
We'll be handing out flyers at the border.
Unfortunately, you gave me that flyer, too, for me personally, so I'm not coming over, I promise. So this I found astounding. Ibrahim X. Kendi, he's a very famous racial activist. He has his own school at Boston University, an anti-racist center. There's layoffs. You know why there's layoffs? Because he had $30 million 2 years ago, and it is gone. He says he's changing the business model, Tammy. What's really happening here?
This sounds like BLM to me, though, where they bought all the mansions with the money that people were donating.
And said, oops.
Yes, with their black square virtue signal. And then, oh, where did the money go? And I think this also just goes to the root of how ridiculous this is to have an anti-racist center. All right, your university should be anti-racist. That should just be a given. We should all be anti-racist. But you burn through $30 million to preach anti-racism. Something's going wrong here. I would check Southern California's MLS and see which one of these individuals is buying property.